What's up, everybody? Legacy back with another episode of Wild on the Rift, and today's special guest is full frontage of Team Liquid. Say what's up to everybody.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you for having me on the channel, Legacy.
Absolutely. So, this is I believe, the 9th episode that I've done here, and I've got a lot of good thoughts from professional players, content creators, casters, and now it's good to have someone come in on the show who has been a part of the mobile scene, representing like a major LCS team. And let's get into it. What are your first impressions of Wild Rift, and how do you like the game so far?
I've been loving Wild Rift. I'm gonna be completely honest. My experience in like League of Legends, I probably had like 20 hours total of gameplay in League PC. Just because like being a mobile gamer, like I never really played a ton of PC games. If I did, it was mostly with friends, and most of my friends were in like Fortnite, Call of Duty, stuff like that. So when Wild Rift came out, now I probably have about close to 200 hours on Wild Rift. So I've been playing Wild Rift a ton. The game is really, really polished. I'm very impressed with the design of it, the balance, the response that Riot has put in, how much they communicate with the community, continuous balance updates, keeping people posted on regional updates. One of the biggest things that they're on right now is trying to get the game in everybody's hands, and you can tell just based on how they communicate with the community that is their number one priority, and they're making sure that happens. So I would say my first impressions overall are very solid, and I think this game is going to be huge.
Yeah, you brought up a big point there. I love the fact that they're always constantly on social media, interacting with the community, getting feedback, which is something that I think is very important for a dev team to do. And especially establishing that now, like you said, the game is not in everyone's hands yet, so they're already building that rapport with the community. So pretty excited to see that. I agree with you. The game looks beautiful. I have a lot of hours in there and as well, and it's been very fun, very frustrating at the same time. But and that's part of growing with the game. So it's really cool that a lot of us have been jumping on the early stages. So let's get into the nitty gritty here. I know a lot of people, since you are in Team Liquid, they do want to know what are some of the plans for Wild Rift initially.
So some of our first plans are going to just be just getting involved with the community. We love engaging with the community. We love interacting with the community. We love doing things with the community. If anybody's familiar with our LCS stuff, we have tailgates before every game. So we love getting that fan interaction with the community. So that's really going to be our first focus, is just building up the Wild Rift fan base for Team Liquid, and just being able to run events, run tournaments, and just give back to the community and have some fun. That's like our number one priority right now, is to just engage with the community and just have fun.
Yeah, I think that's very important. Engaging in developing a small fan base in each region, I think, too, is important. You have the SCA region, which is a massive region to try and get your hands on, and then now Europe is launched as well, and then the Americas will get it last. But I do think you're right, establishing that nice groundwork, just like the devs got to establish the rapport with the community. So do the major orgs too. So I think that's really exciting. So that kind of leads me on to my next part. With TL being an LCS franchise team, you talked about the tailgates and stuff, and how you guys are building a small fan base. Do you feel like there will be a lot of pressure, though, from the mobile side, especially with TL being very successful on the PC side? Do you think there's any pressure, or since it's a completely different thing, you feel like there's no pressure?
Maybe a little bit, but not too much. I think what it's going to come down to, from being an LCS franchise team, is just being able to link those communities together. At the end of the day, League of Legends, Wild Rift is League of Legends. So being able to kind of build that connection with our PC fan base and to our mobile fan base is going to be something that might be difficult, because of the mindset of like, some people are like mobile esports lull type thing, and then other people are very receptive to the idea of mobile esports, and that mobile esports is here to stay. So one of the biggest things is just being able to build that solid connection and kind of get rid of the idea that there's a difference between PC and mobile, because at the end of the day, it's still League of Legends. So that's really what the where the pressure might come in. But I think it's just going to be, as long as we're able to connect with the community, even with being an LCS franchise team, that's going to be the challenge. And if we're able to accomplish that, then I think we're set up pretty well.
I definitely agree with you on that. And Team Liquid's one of the, I'd say, one of the first bigger orgs to really accept the mobile side of esports, with especially with like a lot of the Supercell games and stuff, Clash Royale. What kind of things can we learn from what Supercell has done for their esports scene that hopefully can be implemented to what Riot could potentially do for the esports scene for Wild Rift?
Yeah, one of the biggest things I think was CRL. CRL was Supercell's idea of a team-based league, and it was set to be like the up-and-coming mobile esport. And I think what the Supercell tried to do, their first edition of CRL, they started going with a vertical broadcast rather than a horizontal broadcast, and that kind of just set things off a little bit. Like, they were trying something new. Clash Royale is a vertical game. There wasn't like the emotion from the players. The face cam was small. So I think one of the biggest things that Wild Rift could learn from the esports side of Supercell is just continue to push the envelope and really just make mobile esports something special and something receptive to the community. I think Supercell is going in the right direction now with what they have with Brawl Stars, Clash of Clans, and Clash Royale. They're really going for that all-inclusive idea of our esport is open to everybody. If you have a phone, you can play in our tournament. I think that's a fantastic idea to be able to have like the start of mobile esports be able to grow, because that's something that does lack in esports, the ability to really make a name for yourself. So the fact that they're going for an all-open tournament is really awesome. And it seems like Wild Rift is starting to do the same thing with their tournament plans in Southeast Asia. We don't have a ton of information yet, but we just know that people in 8 countries in Southeast Asia will be able to play in tournaments, and then there will be a Southeast Asia regional finals toward the end of the year. So we don't know too much about that. We don't know if they're going to be invited teams. We don't know if it's going to be open. But as of now, it looks like it's just going to be like open. Anybody in those countries with the team will be able to play in qualifiers. They'll be able to register through the various third-party tournament sites that Riot is working with. So it seems like they're kind of following suit with what Supercell's doing in that regard, which I think is an incredible way to start off an esports scene, because it gives an idea to other orgs who haven't gotten involved yet. Like, we don't have Fnatic yet. We don't have Team Liquid. We don't have TSM. We don't have Cloud9. We don't have all these major organizations in Wild Rift yet. And I think the idea of Riot hosting like an open sort of tournament format is going to be appealing to those organizations, because they get to kind of like see how the scene plays out, how the scene develops, what the tournaments look like, what the teams look like, and all those organizations being heavily League of Legends based teams, they know exactly what to look for when watching League of Legends gameplay. So the open tournament idea is, I mean, maybe they did it on purpose with Supercell, I don't know, but I think that's a really good idea, and I really hope that that is the direction Wild Rift is going for year one.
I agree, and you brought up a big thing. Like, mobile should be accessible for everyone, and that's like the big draw to mobile gaming. Initially, is because you can play it anytime, anywhere. So if they go with that open format, I think that'd be great, because you're gonna have the hardcore gamers that have played like AOV and Mobile Legends and Vainglory that are gonna really grind it. But I definitely think what Riot should and probably wants to do is get a new fan base of people who've never played a MOBA, or maybe don't even know what League of Legends is. So I think that'd be really cool. Like, something like that in the game would be really awesome.
Yeah, and there could be new teams that Arena, like you said, Arena Valor, Vainglory, Mobile Legends. Like, those esports have been around, so we know the players from those games. But the question is new talent going to arise from Wild Rift? And that's going to be the biggest thing coming into the esports scene, because it's a completely clean slate. People who have never played mobile MOBAs before have an opportunity to make a name for themselves. And that's what I love about esports, is like, seeing somebody rise up from the bottom and is like, whoa, who is this guy or girl or however, like
Yeah.
who is this person, and like how are they so good, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the beautiful part about it, and I mean, and that's something that kind of like, I think when you have that unknown and then that new person comes in, maybe they have a new
Hmm.
build or a new different style of gameplay. Like that's really exciting to see because
Yep.
in the mobile community, it is smaller, especially in like the NA region. I feel like a lot of people know a lot of the people from multiple different games, so it's that exciting, that unknown X
Hmm.
factor is definitely excited to see. And that kind of leads me on to my next part for like the content creators and the streamers out there. What do you think is something that Riot can help do to develop them? Like is I like the fact that Excoundrel mentioned like asset packs and like
Yep.
creator codes. What is there anything else that you think that would help that maybe has worked on other games or platforms?
Yeah, I think creator codes is a fantastic idea. I would definitely love to see that. But one of the other things I noticed that Wild Rift has done already is throughout the beta, they have featured some creators on their social pages and been like, "Oh, check out this person or check out this person's video." And they're highlighting different things in the community from different creators, and I think that's super super cool. But to dive into that a little bit more, one of the other things that Supercell has been doing is they have a video inbox where creators are allowed to post videos to that videos tab, and people can, from the game, just click on the videos tab and see which videos are in app. I think that would be something that's really cool. I know a lot of PC esports and Supercell titles in mobile, they have like a video section or stream section or like a content section where there's like fan art, there's videos, there's guides, there's patch notes, there's all this different kinds of things. And I think Wild Rift has kind of set themselves up for success in that regard based on what they've already been doing on social media. Um, like the developers have said, their number one priority right now is just getting the game into everybody's hands. So I bet those things won't come for a while, but I think it's something that Riot is already aware of and is already trying to build up the content creator and streamer side of things and just supporting in any way that they can that they see would be the best fit for them.
Yeah, and they've done a lot with I guess regional release, so which has been really
Mhm.
cool. I like that you touched on they highlighted specifically I think in the SEA region they did a lot of highlights on
Yep.
their content creators. They even had an event. I don't think they've done anything yet for Europe. But what do you think would be a cool thing for them to do for the Americas? And I think the Americas is that region that is going to be hit or miss for Wild Rift. And I'll be honest, like I feel like a lot of it does kind of stem on the American region because we know the SEA region is huge. They've always loved the MOBAs, but
Hmm.
the NA, specifically NA, is kind of, I don't know how big the player base is, but what do you think would be a cool event to kind of like maybe grab the unknowns or something like that?
Yeah, so I mean, we saw the with Southeast Asia release, they had the KDA event. When Europe was around, they had the Brothers event with Draven and Darius, and then they also had the stream event where you were able to slay Baron.
Yeah, that was
And
really cool.
it was like 23 minutes or something, and it was like people in chat would type numbers and the numbers would correspond to different champion abilities, and that was super cool. And it was like it was something I've never seen before. Like I've never seen something like that before. It was 5 a.m. my time, so I was asleep, but when I woke up I rewatched it and I was like, wow, this is actually kind of cool. Like this is something that's so unique. So I think it would be cool. We already saw something like a tease kind of in North America. There was a Twitch Rivals event back in October or November where they invited some LCS players. They invited some celebrities out as well. They had the official LCS casters. It was a live event, COVID friendly, of course. And it was really cool to see. And I think the stream peaked at like 120,000 concurrent viewers on Twitch, which is amazing. Um, so I would definitely love to see more type of content like that because I think that's a content that really connects with the NA audience is just being able to involve influencers and have influencers be a big part of that. And so that I would love to see like another show match. And if they're like you said, the North American audience is kind of like the biggest stretch out right now. I feel like the North American audience really carries that kind of mobile esports lull mentality which is something that a lot of developers and teams are trying to just like clear that mindset,
Hmm.
because it's like mobile esports is here to stay. Like the infrastructure is developing with 5G and everything like that.
Yep.
The devices are becoming increasingly more powerful. We're seeing a lot of games being able to be ported over. We see with like Fortnite, it's cross-platform. You can play with somebody on PC if you're on a mobile device. Teamfight Tactics, same thing. We have players that play in the Liquid Fates qualifiers who are on mobile devices. Like
Yep.
they play on their phones in a heavily dominated PC audience. It's something that's coming up. It's something that people aren't really familiar with, but I feel like some people are starting to come around to it. And I think Wild Rift is definitely going to help with that, because it's Riot's game. It's League of Legends. People who love League of Legends will be able, as much as they want to make fun of it, we all know that they're going to be doing that on the internet. And then as soon as they get off and get in bed, they're going to open a game of Wild Rift
Hmm.
and they're going to play for like 15, 20 minutes and they're just going to have fun with it. And
Hmm.
like it's something you get to do like anywhere. Like mobile gaming is truly accessible. So I think it'd be really cool, to get back on topic here, for Riot to do an event where it involves some influencers, some creators in the mobile space or in the league space or both, and really get them together and just create something fun that's relevant to the community.
Yeah, I think PC and mobile would be really cool, and I think
Hmm.
they teased that a lot about that, especially in the SEA region with like Faker and the ads and stuff.
Yep.
So especially just since they did announce the esports, they did announce it. So that's crazy to think that they're already planning esports for this year. Who knows what they have in plans for that? So definitely excited to see what that happens for that. But let's talk about you. What are your plans for Wild Rift? Do you want to be a content creator, an analyst? Do you want to be a casual streamer? Like what are your plans for the game?
Right now, my plan is to just learn the game better and be able to connect with the community, whether that be through content creation or doing events through Team Liquid. I really think Wild Rift is like the game that's going to put mobile on the map in North America. It's Riot, it's League of Legends. People in North America love League of Legends. League of Legends is arguably the most popular esport in the world. It's coming. It's going to be here. So I think just trying to build that connection to the community is going to be like my number one priority. Especially doing it through Team Liquid and being a content creator. So that's just going to be my focus. Just creating a bunch of content, connecting with the community, and just making it an open, receptive thing. Like I don't want the mentality of like, oh, PC players hate us. We don't want them in our game space. No, we want them to come to our game space, because mobile gaming is gaming for everybody, and that's what it's meant to be. So just kind of setting that mentality of like, no matter where you are, who you are, mobile gaming is for you, and
Absolutely.
that's what it is.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And like you said, it is for everyone. Mobile gaming definitely is for everyone. And I did like that you said earlier that they're going to get off and they're going to play that one game where they're
Yep.
playing in bed. But we
Yep.
know one game always turns into three.
Yep.
So, with that being said, I love the fact that you want to do a lot of stuff with the community. What are some things that like you said, the fanatics haven't entered, the Cloud9s, the TSMs. With the game being so young, I have seen orgs have entered the scene with content creation. What is something that I guess maybe those unknowns, those X factors that are people that are trying to build a name in Wild Rift, what can they do to set themselves up to catch the eye of like a major org like a TSM or a TL or Cloud9?
I think one of the biggest things is, and this is a bigger problem throughout all of esports. There's really no like clear path to pro, right? And I think that's something that mobile is starting to define a little bit better. Like we talked about earlier, Supercell having open tournaments for everybody. From the assumptions that I make from what Wild Rift has posted already, is that Wild Rift SEA tournament is going to be open to everybody in Southeast Asia. So definitely playing in those tournaments, finding a team, playing in those tournaments. Um, how do you find a team? Try to get involved in the community. Watch content creators. Content creators probably have discords where they have a bunch of other pro players, or are linked up, and you can just go in the chat and say, hey, I'm looking for a team to practice with, like shoot me a DM, whatever. Like other orgs might just be starting to build, like I'll just use us for example because I know what we're doing. Team Liquid, we have a Wild Rift Discord. Come in there, look for people to teams, find scrimmages, like just communicate, engage with the community. Even you don't have to like be a top tier player to find teammates, right? Like people just want to play the game, especially when it's new. People are just going to want to play the game, have fun. Solo queue is miserable for some people. So being able to like communicate with others is also important, especially in a game like Wild Rift. So doing that, and then also the best way is pushing up the leaderboards and streaming. If you're able to stream, you have the ability to stream, do it. Push up the leaderboards, just grind. And guess what? Twitch's app, you can stream mobile games directly from your phone with Twitch.
There you go.
Like that, all you need is your phone. That's it. You can stream your gameplay with your phone on Twitch. That's all you need. I don't know about YouTube because I stream on Twitch, but maybe they have it. I don't know. Check it out. Check out if YouTube has it. But with the Twitch app, you can just screen record your screen and you go live, and that's it. So all you need is your phone and probably a stable internet connection. You probably need a stable internet connection to play anyway. But to stream it, you'll also need a stable internet connection. Make sure your device is charged, of course, otherwise your stream won't be long. But yeah, you can go live directly from the Twitch app. So streaming, finding people to play with, engaging with the community, that would be my recommendation.
I like it. And you don't have to be a top tier player to make top tier content. I think that's very important. I think people get stuck in that stigma that like, if I'm not top 10 in the leaderboards, people aren't going to watch me. That's absolutely not correct.
Yeah, and I don't like to name names, but we'll just do it anyway. Tim the Tap Man, like he is a great entertainer, right? But he is nowhere near like the top tier players that in the games he streams, right? So it's like as long as you're entertaining and you're engaging, one of the most important things as a streamer is engagement, being able to engage with your community. As long as you're doing that, even if you're like not the best player in the world, but you're like rising up, you're improving, you're making good plays, you're entertaining, people are going to want to watch you, and you'll just continue to grow. So don't worry. And the other advice I have, if you're just starting out as a streamer, text your friends, text your family, tell them I'm streaming, explain why having viewers is important. If your mom or dad or your sister or brother, whatever, if they want to just open the stream and then just walk away, they don't even need to watch, right? Just have them open it, have them be there. It helps you. And that's how you do it, right? Just get your friends and family involved, and then it'll just grow from there, and be consistent.
Yes, be consistent. That's the toughest part. That is definitely the toughest part, I think, is being consistent and taking that first step. That first step initially is tough. You know, you're scared, but you got to remember, if you're not streaming, you don't try, you have 0 viewers. If you do try, maybe you'll get that 1, and then 1 turns into 10, and then 10 turns to 100, and to 1,000, and so forth.
Yep. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I got a fun question here. And I know you've played limited hours of PC League, but I'm pretty sure you're familiar with some of the best pros in League of Legends. So if you could 1v1 someone in Wild Rift, who would it be and why?
Wait, does it have to be a League of Legends pro?
Oh, you know what? I guess it doesn't have to be.
Oh, thank God, I'd get smoked. If it had to be a League pro, I'd go with Core JJ.
Oh wow! You want to go up against Core JJ? He's the old. He could play any role right now. He's doing so good.
I know, support role versus support role.
Okay, so if it would be anyone, okay, I like the fact that you thought of not in League, so that's kind of cool. Like, who would it be outside of League then?
Oh, like outside of League space in general? Oh, man, I'd probably go with Clash with Ash.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so you could say you stopped Clash with that. I like that. Yeah,
can't do it in Clash Royale. Might as well be able to do it somewhere else, you know?
The challenge has been made. So, Any final thoughts or plugs you wanna send out to the community? Go ahead and do those right now.
Yeah, just some final thoughts again. Just to recap, Wild Rift is new. If you're looking to make a name for yourself, streaming, engaging with the community, creating YouTube videos, the devices that are coming out on mobile, you can pretty much do all that from your device. You can screen record, you can upload. I know one of the Brawl Stars YouTubers, Crying Man. I don't think he added commentary to his gameplay until he hit 300,000 subscribers. So it is possible to just upload gameplay. If you're good at it, if you make good plays, highlights, just do it. Edit, montage. You can do that all from your device. There are programs out there where you can edit, put clips together, or you can have somebody do it for you. Or if you have like a free program on your computer, or however you get it, it is doable. And then just be consistent. And then for plugs, tl.gg/WR Discord for the Team Liquid Wild Rift Discord. And if you guys want to check me out, at Full Frontage on all social medias: Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. TikTok.
Ooh, I'm too old for that kind of stuff. But I appreciate you being on the show. This has been episode 9, I believe. Thanks for being on the show. I am Legacy for Wild on the Rift and Full Frontage, saying thanks for watching and peace.